Do you think
I
that
wish our
that a
relationship would be
kid
great.
being
We're
around
not.
gay people or drag events or whatever, do you think that that means there's a higher likelihood that there's going to be pedophiles amongst that group of people than, say, at a church?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then you are
Probably,
doing it.
probably,
You are the
yes.
problem. You are the problem. You're
No, well, okay, we can agree with that, but it's a respectful disagreement. I don't hate gay
I don't
people. I don't hate
respectfully
you. I don't
disagree
hate
with you. I fucking despise you
even
and
these
disagree with you.
gods.
Tragedy has struck for the LGBT community. By now, I'm sure most of you are aware of the horrible events that took place in Colorado. As Colorado Springs residents and leaders wrap their arms around the 19 people injured and others traumatized in the Club Q shooting, loved ones are remembering the 5 who did not survive the attack on the beloved LGBTQ nightclub. Thank you for the $5 donation. Hunter, the Colorado shooter was non-binary. Everyone, you included, thought he was right-wing and that it was a hate crime. Obviously not. Grow up. So first and foremost, if somebody's non-binary, doesn't mean they can't commit a hate crime against other gender non-conforming individuals. Second of all, no, I never said he was right-wing. I said that we do not have the motive. We don't know the motive, but it is easy to assume that it was an anti-LGBT hate crime. That's what I said. So no, I never actually made a statement on that. I said that it makes sense to assume, but we don't have the motive yet. Not to mention non-binary people, they can also be right-wing, dipshit. Tim Pool tweets out, "We shouldn't tolerate pedophiles grooming kids. Club Q had a grooming event. How do we prevent the violence and stop the grooming? Queer people who have been shot and murdered aren't even in the ground yet. And this fuckwit is up here reiterating lies that this Club Q had a grooming event. None of the individuals who tragically lost their lives were grooming children." Just before the massacre, Club Q had promoted a Sunday drag brunch on its Facebook page. Wait, hold on. Is this the thing? Maybe I was looking at the wrong event. What Tim is referring to here is a Sunday book reading, not a recruiting event for pedophiles. Calling something a grooming event doesn't make it one. And this exact language is why there's blood on his hands. He should feel shame for the rest of his sad little life. Club Q. First Sundays of every month, we partner with Drag Story Hour and provide a kid-friendly atmosphere with book readings after each show. Our outdoor patio will also be open to ensure you and your friends can socialize. Our staff is ready to serve you all afternoon. Well, regardless of what it was, whether it was the event that I referenced or it was this one, none of this is a grooming event.
Hey.
So why are you in my chat while we're talking about people literally getting murdered, queer people getting murdered, saying that Drag Queen Story Hour is grooming? Can you explain, please?
Yes, I said that. I do think it was too edgy, which is why I wanted to say it is highly sus at least. And I understand if you're. Can you put on your cam so we can have like a conversation?
I can turn on my camera again, sure.
Okay. Yeah, so because I do understand, like maybe it's not so close to me, so I don't feel this emotional tragedy as strongly. And in a chat, sometimes people say things to. I didn't say it to be triggering, but I do. I think the reasoning is like, I don't personally. I mean, if he did it because he thought that there were people going. I mean, I'm not sure if I even want to defend it because I think it may be like very emotional and like.
It's not about it being emotional. It's about the fact that you're saying it's grooming. So how is it grooming?
Well,
Like, what does that mean exactly?
Let's say yes, sure, but let's pretend that even though if it's not emotional, we can pretend that maybe the shooting didn't, or that I'm not like trying to defend the shooting, right?
No, I know. I don't think you're trying to defend the shooting, but I think that you're just playing
Yeah.
into the same kind of narrative that inspires a lot of hate like this. And in fairness, yeah, we don't know why the reason behind why they carried out this attack. We don't know if it was specifically a hate crime or not. But I don't see the point of, while we're talking about people who were just killed and people being wrongly called groomers and pedophiles, that you would chime in and say, well, Drag Queen Story Hour is grooming, lol. So whether it's too edgy or not, how is it grooming?
It is not necessarily grooming.
So it's not grooming then?
We don't know that, right?
No,
I do
we
think
we can find out. We know if whether or not it was grooming, drag queen
no, we
story
don't
hour
know.
in general. So how is it grooming?
Okay, well, here's the reasoning kind of behind that sentiment of we should not really not do that.
Okay.
Because as far as I know, 1 in 20 people is like a pedophile. And I
Okay.
don't I, don't- I
One in
don't even
20
think
people or 1 in 20 gay people?
no, I think 1 in 20, well, it's like 90% or 99%, either one of the two men. So I'm not saying that that's gay people, because women can be gay.
Wait. eh, So if one in, you said 1 in 5 people?
I know 1 in 20.
1 in 20 people are pedophiles? Okay, then why would you ever take a kid literally anywhere?
Dream of being a man half as good as you, Hunter.
How is this
Well,
unique to
exactly.
wait,
You
how
wouldn't
is
take
this
them
unique
near
to
a section.
wait, how is this unique to drag queen story hour? First of all, I have no idea if that statistic is true.
Because drag shows are usually like sexually tainted.
Not necessarily, and they certainly don't
No,
have to
not necessarily.
be.
No, they don't. But there's a reasonable chance, and that is the sentiment around drag stuff. That it's like guys, like I think I'm not sure about the entire history. Maybe you know more about it than I do. But it's like they try to dance and like I
Not all of
think
it's
it is.
sexual. You can look at pictures of
Not
it.
all of it, but you have to agree. And I know it's maybe this is a hard time to talk about it, but it does have that feeling to me
I
that
think what you're mixing up, by the way, I looked this up, approximately 1 to 5% of the male population is estimated to have pedophilia. So it sounds like that 1 in 20 people thing is bullshit. But
okay.
even
Well,
if that
I
were
heard.
true, then why would you ever take a kid to church?
Well, that's
Why would
good
you ever go to the Catholic
if
church
it's
with your
less. I
child?
hope. Well, I probably wouldn't send my kid to a Catholic preschool. Definitely not.
Okay. I just you're like assuming that this is innately sexual. I'm showing pictures right now of what drag queen story hour looks like. And
All right, let me check the
it's
screen.
not
But
it's not sexual. This is
I
why I've
think
always well hold on. This is why I've always said that one, drag
no,
queen
that looks a bit sexual to me.
anytime something is sexual, kids should
This
not
is
be
story time, so this is specifically for children.
yes. Yeah. That's the same thing that they were going to have at the Club Q event that Tim Pool called a grooming event. And you
And
said
it does look a bit
Wait, did you say
sexual
drag
still.
queens are groomers or did you say drag queen storytime are groomers?
No, I said that drag shows, and I wanted to expand because I do feel like it was too edgy and a bit too like provocative.
Okay.
But it feels when I hear drag show and you put in drag show for children, it does come across to me as a sexual kind of atmosphere.
Wait, okay. A
You don't
drag show.
agree?
Wait, are you saying they're grooming adults? How the grooming would have to occur if it's children there. So, yeah, if there's a adult drag show that's highly sexualized, no, you shouldn't be taking your kids there. But the
Yes,
drag events that
exactly.
are designed for children
That's
are not sexual. So therefore, where the fuck is the grooming?
well, maybe they are. If it's like 5 to 1%, I don't want to. Don't want people to take the risk, and I'm not saying it just
Why do you
because I
take
want
your
to
kid
protect
anywhere?
children.
Why do you go to the grocery store with your kid?
That's a straw man.
No, it's not. If you're saying 1 in 5 people are pedophiles, which is not, by the way, what the statistic said that I read, then
Yes,
why
it
would you take
was.
your child literally anywhere? No, it said 1 to 5% of the male population. So then why would you
Yes.
take your child anywhere? What's unique about drag that like attracts pedophiles? It can't be a grooming event unless kids are involved.
I don't think if you maybe it's too emotional to
It's not too
properly discuss this.
emotional. It's
I'm
that
not.
you
I'm
said
not.
something really fucking stupid, and now I think you're getting called out for it and you don't like it.
You really think that?
Yes. You
It
keep
is, but
trying
it
to
is
run away to
emotional,
the,
right?
oh, this is just a really
It is
emotional thing.
emotional.
It is
No, but it
emotional, but
is.
I'm not
Yes.
arguing from a place of emotion. I'm asking you to
I
defend
think
yours
you're.
claim.
Yes, well, I just did a few times, and but
No, you
also I'm not.
didn't.
I don't hate gay people. There might be a Christian sign in the back. It's really mine, but
I didn't say
I
you
don't hate
did.
gay people.
I don't think you do.
No, and also, but I also think that gay people and these drag show stuff, they shouldn't do that because it might inspire these kind of events.
What type of events?
that people believe, because it has a sexual connotation for a lot of people in a lot of people's minds, whether it's literal or not, that they feel that's where the pedophiles go and that's where they're trying to target children.
But how are they targeting children if it's an event for adults? This is like saying we
Because
should be. Hold on, wait, stop. There's wait, no, stop. There's a bunch of flaws here.
It's not that they do it in the open.
One,
so we're going to do it.
Shh. The problem you have here is that, one, you can make the argument, okay, well then, we should shut down all strip shows, any kind of an area like the gentleman's club, okay? Because it could be grooming. You don't take your fucking child to a gentleman's club. You don't take your kid to an adult drag queen sexual event. And if you do, then you're a bad parent. And then
that's what people think.
Okay, but then when you say, well, it could inspire more events, no, you don't stop living your life because some dipshit might carry out a shooting against you. That's fucking stupid also. It is the responsibility of a society to restrict people from carrying out violence. So if you're going to tell me that this is grooming, it has to involve children in order to be grooming. So if a parent brings their child to an adult sexualized drag event, then if anything, it would be the parents that are arguably quote unquote grooming.
And these possible people. Sorry, I'm not trying to laugh.
There's not kids there. What are you not understanding? There is not children there.
No, but there is at an all age. It's all age.
Okay, if it's all age, then it's assumed to be appropriate, which is why I brought up the drag queen story time. This is the drag events for children are appropriate.
They're trying to do it. They would try to do it in secret.
What? You're not making any sense right now. Do what in secret?
Groom,
molest? What do you even think grooming means?
To try and get children to do that stuff with these people.
Okay, so grooming takes place over usually a long period of time, right? It's usually like getting a child comfortable with the idea of engaging sexually with an adult. And that's why it's called grooming, is because over time, you are sort of brainwashing them to be okay with this kind of shit.
Yes, bring them to sexual shows.
Wait, that's then the parents would be the groomers.
Also, they could be.
So wouldn't the parents in that case be more likely to be the groomer than the person performing? If I bring my kid to a fucking gentleman's club where women are stripping down nude, is the woman a groomer? No, I'm the shit parent for bringing my kid there.
Yes, and that's what people think. So maybe someone then thinks in their mind that they do that.
I don't know what you're even talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I think that you don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, you're saying
that
the parents
that are designed for kids for involving drag is appropriate. There's been a couple incidences where some creeps were there or somebody twerked. I think that was one time.
If I was a pedophile, I'd probably go there.
Huh?
If I was a pedophile and I rate all ages drag show, I'd probably go there.
Why?
Because it sounds like a sexual atmosphere.
Dream of being a man half as good as you, Hunter.
Okay, yeah, if you're using pedophile and then groomer interchangeably. So again, a groomer is somebody who
only pedophiles groom. Unless they're
wait, hold on. A groomer is again you groom a child over a period of time. If you're talking about some creep, some predator looking for a child to abuse, then why wouldn't they, you know what? Why wouldn't they just go into the men's bathroom where little boys are going to come in and use the bathroom? Why don't they just do that? Why would they go to a fucking drag event?
Maybe they will. Maybe they do that.
Maybe they don't. You're just saying well, maybe they'd go to the drag event. Okay, maybe the pedophile's at church. Maybe the pedophile's at the local Walmart.
They did that in church shit like that.
So there's nothing unique to any drag shit.
Well, yeah, I'm saying it sounds sexual, and that's what these people who maybe shoot these things up, they think that as well, and that's why I think gay people shouldn't do that.
Okay.
Because
I genuinely have no idea what you're even talking about right now.
Because it puts them at risk.
I'm at risk of losing my fucking brain cells with this conversation. You are saying that it's grooming. No, stop. Because you're saying it's a grooming thing, but yet you're giving me examples of an event that's not geared for children. So you're literally saying that, well, there might be a creep there who decides to take advantage of this adult event, and on the off chance that a parent is shitty enough to bring their child to an adult sexual event, maybe that drag queen will try and groom that child.
Yeah.
You're jumping through so many
Can I
hoops,
ask you a
dude.
question? Can I ask you a question? I think, well, maybe I shouldn't, but it's a loaded question, I'm not gonna lie. But it is a shocking statistic.
Okay, fine,
The
whatever.
CDC said that 1 in 4 girls in the US has like had bad sexual experience. Girls, not even women.
Yeah, they've been
And
like abused. Yes.
yeah. So I don't think we should ever try to normalize. And I think drag shows has that connotation. If you don't think that, that's fine. But that would be my position.
Chris Quo 1984, you have about 5 seconds to get into the Discord, and if you don't show up, you're permanently banned. Chat, can you please, mods, can you please give this guy the Discord? Wait, so yeah, children are abused, and that's fucking terrible. What does this have to do with drag stuff?
Well, I'm in the position, and I know many people are, that drag shows have that kind of sexual feeling to it.
Adult drag shows, maybe, but this is why I brought up the Drag Queen Story Hour. The stuff designed for kids.
Yes, and you shouldn't mix that. Don't mix it. Don't do that.
Why?
Bad.
How is that any different
Because
than a Halloween
it may
costume?
attract. Okay, I'll explain to you. It may attract parents with bad intentions, guys with bad intentions.
So then they should never ever have any movies produced that are rated R that depict nudity, because then some parents might bring their kid to the theater.
No. This is about a real life event. You get that, right? This is
so
about
they should
a real
never
life
have
event
adult plays where people are acting out stuff with nudity in it on stage because some parent might be creepy and bring their kid there.
If it's specifically drag for all ages, yes. And there are parents that are, and also if there's a society that's like poor and stuff, they can try to sell something. It's fucking awful, and it happens. It happens.
Wait. You're saying that you shouldn't bring your kid to a drag event, or there shouldn't be sexual drag events.
Yeah, for children.
Wait, holy shit, dude. Are you not
I know
listening
you
to me
agree.
right now?
I know you agree, but
that.
I don't even think you should mix that. You even try to get near it. You shouldn't do that.
No one's trying to mix sexual stuff with kids, and if they are, then they're in the wrong. But that's not what's happening.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. I get gay acceptance, but it's gone too far. You shouldn't want to just be acceptable of all that kind of stuff and then put children there. It's not good.
So if it's an event that's completely appropriate where they do nothing but
you don't know that.
Wait, hold
on.
Don't know
that.
I'm giving you a hypothetical, okay?
If it's of course, if the world is perfect and nobody does that, yeah, why not? But it's not like that.
I don't think you recognize that from your goddamn logic. That means you shouldn't ever bring your kid virtually anywhere. What about schools?
Of course not. Of course not. That's entirely different. I get you want to have gay people be accepted. I get that.
It doesn't even have that much to do with gay people right now. This is just you saying it's a groomer thing. And then when I talk to you about it, you say, well, if it's sexual, kids shouldn't be there, which I say I agree.
Yeah, and you think that it can't be sexual, or that it's probably not.
No, I think that it's possible for it to be sexual, but I also think it's possible for it to not be sexual.
Yeah, so why not? So
drag
why not?
Is not innately sexual.
I disagree. I feel like it basically is. Maybe sometimes in some cases it's not. I get that, but if it's like specifically a drag, I feel like it is. I just feel like it is.
Do you think that like maybe you're just kind of like personally into drag queens? Because like if so, that's fine. There's no judgment here. But it's like I don't know why you're assuming this is like an
I just hate the
sexual
idea.
thing.
I just hate the idea that it could lead to abuse.
Okay.
And I feel like it could.
Holy fuck. Then sending your child to a sending your child to a school where the teacher could be creepy. Are you okay with that? Do you just not like that?
Well, they maybe should vet teachers. Maybe that's a good idea because that could attract people. But also in the school, I don't think they're like, yes, you should be. I think actually in this case, I think like a surveillance state, people hate that kind of idea. I think in suspicious cases, yeah, you should vet people. You should be really careful that this doesn't happen again.
I agree.
And I also good because it is way too prevalent. It does happen.
But what you're saying that you're applying this standard to the drag event, but you seem to not be putting this standard like based on your logic. Because again, it would apply everywhere. I hate the idea that I could send my kid to a daycare and one of the teachers could happen to be creepy and abuse my kid. I hate that idea. Yeah, of course I hate to think of something like that happening. But what does that mean? I never send my kids to daycare, or that daycare is somehow innately sexual? What?
But daycare isn't innately sexual, and the school should also try to not make things inherently Drag
is not
shows
inherently sexual. No, it's not.
It does feel that way for me, and I know many people.
That's the projection,
how do you
dude.
feel
That's
about
why
that?
I'm accusing you of projecting.
Oh, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
I think
and I
you
think even
think
many
that drag
gay people
queens
would
are
agree with me.
sexual, and that's fine. But for you to conflate or extrapolate that onto all drag events and then say they're grooming events,
No, but
this
that,
makes no sense.
but then you're saying that it's that it's like very likely that it's not. But what guarantee do you have? If normally if drag shows are normally pretty sexual, then of course they're gonna maybe be more
Okay,
sexual
so do
with
you
children.
understand that there's there are some sexual drag events, and then there's also such a thing as a drag event that's not sexual? Are you able to hypothesize that there is an event that exists?
There's a higher probability that it is because it has sexual roots. It's normally a kind of sexual party.
I don't know if
I
that's
think,
even
at least.
true, but I also
vibe that I
acknowledge
get
that the industry of drag, yes, is incredibly adult for the most part.
Yes.
But again,
so don't
wait.
mix
So
it with
is
children.
it possible
It hurts gay people and it may hurt children. Yes, go ahead.
You're saying it hurts gay people because some terrorist might act out, so that doesn't really
Because
count.
a lot of people
That
feel
does
like
not
drag
count.
shows are sexual, and when you want to mix that, people start to think, oh, gay people, yeah, they want to do it with children now. Let's fucking kill the gays. That's how people think. That's how they think.
All right, let's see. Drag does not typically involve nudity or stripping, which are more common in burlesque, a separate form of entertainment. Explicitly sexual and profane language is common in performances meant for adult audiences. So no, drag does not typically involve nudity or stripping. Many drag opponents cite
I wasn't
nudity.
synced to your stream, so I was confused.
Every performer makes different choices, but drag queens often wear more, not less, clothing than you'd see on a typical American woman of the 21st century at a public beach or on network TV. Their costumes tend towards extravagant, sometimes floor-length gowns. Drag queens may use false breasts, wear sheer costumes, and use makeup or other means to show cleavage and appear exaggeratedly feminine. The difference, performers note, is that the opponents of drag see sexual deviance in the cross-dressing aspect.
Sorry, what can you repeat the last sentence?
The difference, performers note, is that opponents of drag see sexual deviance in the cross-dressing aspect. You're seeing the idea of somebody who's biologically male dressing up as an exaggerated form of a woman. You're viewing that as being sexual. But it doesn't have to be. But it doesn't have to be.
It more often is than it is going to the supermarket.
You're wrong.
Right?
I'm reading this right now, and you're just wrong.
Okay, what if we search? Oh, maybe I am, but even then, my argument still kind of stands. I think because a lot of people feel that way.
So what? A lot of people felt that the world was flat. A lot of people feel like God is real. None of this means shit.
Incite violence. That doesn't incite violence, except for maybe the God thing, right?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where to go with this. I think that you're just really lost.
Well, I think not, and I think if you would like look up pictures of a drag show, it does feel sexual. I don't think that there's any way around it. Sorry.
It can be sexual.
I don't have a.
It can also not be sexual. Like this thing that I'm watching right now.
9 out of 10 times it is. I don't think that article may be even true.
This video that I'm watching does not really look sexual. It looks like somebody dancing.
Nah, let's look at Google pictures. I think that gives it more. Because one instance, yes,
you have
one
to look it up
video
for kids, though, specifically. You can't just show me a picture of a sexual drag thing.
Because you're mixing it. The original idea is sexual, and here's the problem that I have.
Not.
This should be a serious concern. I think. I don't think that. Look. If people feel it's sexual, it doesn't have to be. Even if it's not sexual, even if all the drag shows for kids are not sexual, if parents and people feel that way, they will go there, and they may exchange info. They may try to sell their kids.
You're literally acting like a drag event is like a pedophile thing. You're doing the thing right now.
Because people associate.
You are doing the fucking thing where you look at an event that's more or less designed for queer people or for gay people, trans people, drag queens, whatever, and you're viewing that as, well, they might be secretly trying to exchange child porn. Why could this not be happening at church? Why could this not be happening anywhere else? You're the one saying that this is innately sexual.
It did that too.
You're doing it right now.
I don't think that religious people are exempt from this shit.
Okay, let me read you this. What is the origin of drag?
It would be nice if they
The-
were.
The origin of drag can be traced back to the days of antic theater. Back then, women weren't allowed to play male roles, which is why men had to disguise themselves into female characters. It is believed that the term drag originated from the theater as well. So no, there's not
Look,
initial sexual roots.
I would love to give them the benefit of the doubt. I agree. I agree with you.
It's
It
like
would be nice.
you're talking out
It
of
would
both
be
sides
nice
of your
if
mouth.
it was a perfect
You're saying
world.
that this could be the case
No,
across
I'm
the
not.
board, but then you're also acting like there's a heightened risk of child sexual
Yes.
abuse occurring at a drag thing.
Of course. Of course.
So you do think it's a
What in
higher
for-
likelihood of that occurring at a drag event than at a church?
Maybe if it was a specific camp for boys or something, then maybe it's in the sus range there too. And I don't. Maybe that's not a good idea either. Probably then. If it's like an all boys church thing, I don't know.
Do you think
I
that
wish all
going to,
religious
that a
people were
kid
great.
being
We're
around
not.
gay people or drag events or whatever, do you think that that means there's a higher likelihood that there's going to be pedophiles amongst that group of people than say at a church?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then you
Probably-
are doing it.
probably,
You are the
yes.
problem. You are the problem. You're
No, well, okay, we can agree with that, but that it's a respectful disagreement. I don't hate gay
I don't
people.
respectfully
I don't hate
disagree
you.
with you. I
Even,
fucking despise you
even
and
these
disagree with you.
gods, awful sick people that feel attracted to children, I don't even think they should be hated. I think they should get therapy, and ideally, I would like. I think society should encourage them to get also castrated,
I
because
agree, and I also agree that there's
50%
ways
of
that.
the.
So do you understand how there is?
That's an interesting point, though.
Do you think that like gay parents are more likely to abuse their children?
I don't know.
So do you realize how you're saying
Yeah,
one in five
technically,
people?
if it's two men, then technically there's a higher chance. Yes, that's true. But
Do
maybe
you think the
very
higher
small.
chance is because
maybe
they're
a
men, or do you think it's because
little,
they're
only
gay?
a little bit. No, because they're men. And you have two men.
Okay. So do you understand the problem that I have here? Because there's also a lot of men at church. And you're saying there's a heightened risk at drag events, even if the hypothetical event we're talking about is one designed for kids that is not sexual. There's a heightened likelihood that amongst drag events, there are going to be pedophiles as opposed to somewhere like a church. Why? How does that make sense?
Church is a universal kind of natural thing that everyone.
So doesn't that mean it's more likely that a pedophile would be there?
No. Maybe in a Catholic, but no, I don't think it's more likely. Because also the goal is different, right? The goal is community, and community involves everyone.
The goal of a drag event is community. Yeah. It could be.
Maybe. It could be.
Okay.
It could be.
But so why do you think there's
But
a higher
It has
likelihood
that element.
of a pedophile being amongst a drag event than at a church?
Because a church is based on a universal sense of community, and also churches have ideally they would be focused on some sort of goodness, some sort of compassion or
What does
universal
that have to do
compassion.
with anything? You could argue that a
Because
drag event is
people-
focused on that too.
No, it's for entertainment. That's true. It's
So-
for entertainment.
Okay. So because the church is focused on something good, it's less likely there'd be a pedophile there?
I hope so, and less likely that things would escalate that way.
Do
And
you
that people
understand that way
specifically
more people go to
They
church?
go there because other pedophiles may go there. You get that, right?
Other pedophiles might go to church. So do you
there
recognize that
is
if a church is a larger
church
thing
that's
where
based-
more people go on
If it's a
average,
sex
there's a
church-
higher likelihood that a
if it's a
pedophile would
sex
be there?
church for all ages, yes, then that's yes,
If it's what?
and that's our argument. That's the art. If it's a sex church, something based on the idea of having a lot of sex or something, which maybe would come closer to
That's not what a drag
like
event
Satanism.
is. It's not
And
about
I'm
a
not saying
fucking...
that in the demonic is. I'm not, but they have
drag
more of a
event is
hedonistic
not all about
type
having
of energy.
sex. A drag
I
event
don't
is not all
know.
about having sex.
Want to equate the two, but it does feel for a lot of people that way. And I'm gonna give you the benefit of the
care.
doubt.
Why
I'm
do you
gonna
keep
say
saying this? A lot of people in my
I'm
chat
gonna
right now
say-
think you're a bigot. So maybe you are a bigot, you know?
because that's what incites the violence. Well, if you want to listen to random people instead of just being with me. That's fine. You can
You're
hate me.
doing
That's I
it
don't
right
care.
now. Okay, listen. I appreciate it, dude.
Listen to me. You're not listening to
Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Never talk about this event again.
No, you shut the fuck up.
No,
You're
shut
not
the fuck
listening
up.
to me, and you're
Stop
going by the fact
whining
that
that this
people
is
call me
somehow
a
a
bigot.
grooming thing
So
when you
people
have no
so
idea what
I
the
am a
fuck you're
bigot.
talking about, okay?
That's what
I need
you're
to get
saying.
out of this.
That's
No,
what you're
I'm
saying.
getting
You're
out
like,
of this
"Oh, what
call
does my
immediately.
cat say?"
You're
Or he says
grooming
he's a
me into
bigot, and I need to
retardation,
get out of
okay?
here.
You're grooming me right now into
No,
fucking
you're
delusion.
not. I don't think you're.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dave, thank you for the $2. Kids doing drag with people giving single dollars is okay? No, that's not okay. Never once did I say that drag is just across the board good for kids. Never. I've always been of the position that if the event is sexual, kids shouldn't be there.